When you were born, the world rejoiced while you cried. Live your life in such a way that when you die, the world cries while you rejoice.
What's the name of your first book?
The name of my first book is Stay Strong and Take a Stand. I wanted to write something that I could connect with.
What are the non-fiction books on the life? Which one you're reading right now?
Right now, I'm reading a book called Ikigai. The meaning of Ikigai is to find your purpose in life. In Okinawa, in Ikigai, the youngest person there is 94 years old in a 3,600 people village.
What is the funniest nickname someone has given you?
Pani Puri.
So tell me one funny thing about your mom and...
My mom, she hates mushrooms. And me and my dad, we love mushrooms. Sometimes mom just changes the conversation and she secretly tells our cook, you make these lentils, you make this rice.
One thing about your dad?
My dad occasionally tries to learn Arabic from me. And it is just hilarious the way he pronounces the words. It is just hilarious.
Hello viewers, welcome again, and today I want to bring you a young author. And you know we bring a lot of powerful authors. This young author is just 11. At the age of 11, he's written 3 books. And you know what? When he wrote his first book, it was when he was 9. And we're going to talk about how at the very young age he wrote a book, as well as we want to see the life from his eyes, how he sees the world. And it'll be interesting to see someone very young writing a book, inspiring the world and changing a lot of lives. Already started doing that. So thank you, Avi, for joining in. And
Thank you.
We're going to talk a lot about your life, your day-to-day things you do, your hobbies. But let's start with books. I know you wrote first book when you were 9. But what made you think that you should be writing? Because a lot of people do not have that thought itself. So where did you get this inspiration or thought of writing a book?
First of all, thank you so much for the wonderful intro. That was very nice and very kind of you. My first inspiration to even get the idea of spreading a very powerful message through the forms of a book was by the help of my mother. My mother wrote a book, and at that time I was at her book launch ceremony, and the pride me, my father, and she felt was drastic. I'd never felt anything like that. And I also wanted to witness and feel the same thing. So I got inspiration from that. As I was handing the book to very high and famous people who were on the stage, I got that courage, I got that motivation to write a book. And now I'm going to spread my message. I'm going to spread my message too, like my mom, through a book.
What's the name of your first book?
The name of my first book is Stay Strong and Take a Stand. The subtitle is 5 Inevitable Life Situations.
Stay strong and take a stand. Why did you decide this topic? Because you could have written a lot of things, and a lot of children at your age want to write fiction. And I know you've written fiction too. We'll talk about that too. But your first was life situations. So why did you pick this topic?
I wanted to write something that I could connect with. For me at that time, I did not know what to write. And writing something fiction required a lot of creativity, and the amount of imagination and creativity I had at that time, it was not that much that I would write an intriguing book about that. Also, I wanted to convey a strong message. That was what motivated me, and I feel that I could convey the message in the best way through a non-fiction book, and I could also include real life instances to help change lives across the world.
So let's talk. I know people have to read the book, but we'd like to highlight one of the situation which you have put into a book for other people to read and learn about.
Okay. Let's take an example. The first chapter, Shyness, I had mentioned that there had been a situation when we are not really well in public speaking, and we are asked to be on a public speaking unprepared. We don't even know what's going to happen. We're not prepared. We're scared. We're shy. At that time, I mentioned how I overcome that shyness at that time, how I figured something out, and how I delivered a strong speech to make sure that I could, convey my message in the shortest way possible.
So let's say someone is scared of speaking. It could be a young boy, girl, or maybe adult, because I know a lot of people are scared speaking in public. So, and when you go on the stage and you see, look at so many eyes looking at you, your morale goes down. So what do you give them a suggestion, one or two suggestions, if someone getting to public speaking situation, how should they, prepare their mind?
You have to imagine the crowd doesn't exist. Now, that, as I'm saying it, is not as easy as it sounds. It is actually really tough to do. Whatever mood you are currently in, which is not nervous, by the way, if it's a kind of a happy mood you're in, you're talking a speech about being happy, then you can imagine the audience in a very happy mood. If your audience is in such a mood of, I don't know, listening to a song, then imagine your audience listening to a song. If you're talking about an activist speech, talking about, I don't know, maybe some rights about something else, you can imagine your audience understanding, nodding their heads. The audience that exists is not the audience that should be seen by your eyes. When you look at your audience is just whatever you want the audience to be.
Wow, wonderful. So it's basically you prep this is also life. You prepare your life like that, not only speeches. A wonderful answer. Uh, and how your friends in the school or your teachers looked at you after your book was launched, when they knew that you are an author. How was that reaction in the school?
I still remember that day. I had walked into my school. The first step, I walked into the corridors. I was walking to my class, and people were looking at me, then whispering to each other. That murmuring was going on in the corridors. I didn't understand what was happening. Obviously, I was overjoyed because I just, all my hard work had paid off. I had done the book, and I had seen that people were, murmuring about me. And occasionally people were like, "Hey, Avi, I read your book a little bit. It was amazing. It was so good." Then so many more murmurs. Then I met some teachers on the way. They all, praised me. And I felt really, 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 really happy. Because from that moment on till this moment, I've been getting, praised by everyone. That, wow, amazing book. And I have been able to stand out from the crowd in such a way because of this book writing. And it's a very unique thing to do. And yes.
And became bestseller too. So
Yes,
I
and
remember.
after it became bestseller, then I got, instead of murmurs, there were more congratulations. In the assembly also, I had gotten an announcement and much more things. And all my friends were congratulating, and I felt that I finally was able to stand out of the crowd and have a joyful time.
Wonderful. And I remember when you wrote your book, it became bestseller. You said, "I don't want this happiness for me only, and I want everyone to enjoy that." And you were a head boy at that time, so you took an initiative. You spoke to school, had a couple of meetings with the teachers, and you made sure that other friends of yours, or maybe little juniors too, they should also learn to write. They get inspired. So can you tell me, how did you think of that? Because that's a very powerful thing. You didn't want to keep this secret for yourself. You said, let everyone enjoy that. So what all you did in the process?
In year 6, I had become a head boy because of these book writing instances. I had gotten a lot of fame and followers in my school. So I had been voted to be head boy. I had taken an initiative of, making other students of my school authors, or at the best co-authors. So I had talked to many of the heads of our school, like the principal, the head of secondary, head of primary, and I had planned something out together. It was our DS Authors Club, wherein we would make students, where we would first join a club of some few students, do some campaigns and all, and once we get the confirmation from their parents, we will make them start writing small stories, very happy and jolly stories of their life, to motivate people. And soon, with the help of Dr. Kailash over here, we were able to launch a book, Rising Superstars.
Rising superstar. So I want to share with the world that he did not kept the secret and happiness for himself. He shared with everyone. And not only in the second book, when he wrote the Rising Superstar, there were 5 more friends of his from the same school. They also became co-author. They launched a book together. and it was one story which very empowering they were supposed to share. And I'm very happy that in that story also, Avi, you shared your journey of becoming an author and
Yes.
shared with the world how it was joyful. So let's talk about third book. And third was more of a fictional
Yes,
story.
it was my first
So what's
fictional book.
what's the name of the book? Third one,
The name of my third book is The Immortals.
The Immortals. And can you give us, not don't give the surprise element and secret, but a little bit of the story?
Yeah. So there are three teenagers. They are just they are in a Catholic school, and they are given an assignment. And when they are trying to achieve that assignment, and that assignment is to find some evidences hidden across the country, when they are trying to achieve that assignment, some weird things start to happen, and that weird things convert the whole story into demons, and how few teenagers try and destroy the underworld.
And there was a competition of number of books sold, and you won the competition. So it was, I think, top 50 books which was sold
Yes.
across UAE, the maximum.
Yes.
What did you do to sell it more? Did you do something? What was your effort? Because I know you personally. I know you have the stint of marketing too. So because we've seen in the Sharjah International Book Fair. But I wanted to share, what do you think about marketing and how important it is, and how authors should put this into the book?
So the first part of marketing is to first make sure that when your reader opens your book, they open the first page, they turn it, they look at the back of the book, because that's the first thing I do, and I think it's most of the readers. The first thing they do when they find a book, they read the title, they turn the book back. The back part or the back page of the book should be very, very intriguing, that the reader will be like, oh, I want to read more. This looks really interesting. This is for me. And once they read that, then they'll turn to the first page. Your first 3 pages should be so interesting to read that they just want to buy it. Okay, I want to buy this. This is an amazing book. This
Wonderful.
is the art. And after you do that, then what you can try and do is you can gather. This is what I did. I had sent this link to some of my contacts to try and spread the message. They had gone to the colleagues, showed, and we never told any of our family members to really, really like buy it. You have to buy it. We never said anything like this. We had approached some people we had found, and we had little bit told them about a very interesting fictional book. We had related it to some other fiction books, and we said it's just like that. And we tried to make sure that they feel connected to the book even before they actually read it.
Wow. So it's a very interesting lesson for an author. People should get connected to the book before they actually read it, and through the front cover, back cover, and couple of initial pages. That's how it can be done. Wonderful. And do you read books too? Other than, yeah, I know you have to read school books.
Yes.
No choice. But other than that, school books, do you read anything else?
Yes, I have been reading many books on life sciences, like My Stay Strong and Take a Stand. And I have been currently reading a fiction book.
So what are the non-fiction books on the life you have read, and which one you're reading right now?
Right now, I'm reading a book called Ikigai, which is the point. The meaning of Ikigai is to find your purpose in life, and that's what I've been trying to do. I like to start from a young age, so that by the time I am in, like, subject selection is going to come soon now. I am going to go to year 9 soon, and in year 8, which is I'm currently in year 8, we're going to start counseling now. So I really want to find my purpose in life. What am I destined for? So to find that out, I've picked up a book, Ikigai, and that's
So
helping me in life.
what all you learned other than, so one is purpose, and how do you find a purpose? What are your top learnings from the Ikigai, whatever you remember?
I have learned something very interesting. I'm not done with the full book, by the way. I'm still reading it. But I recently learned something very interesting, that there's a state of the mind called flow state. This is such a state wherein every hour feels like a minute. You're just into the thing. You have nothing else going on your mind. You're in the present. And if you make that flow a habit on good things. So if you get flow in very, very good things to do, like let's say studying, let's say reading books, doing such good things,
Maybe
you could
playing
help people,
chess,
helping people,
helping them playing chess, maybe
playing chess,
football. It could
playing
be
football.
anything.
These good things, if you get flow in them, then you can do whatever you want. Because if you learn to master flow, then you can literally master anything you want, because you can do anything without any distractions. And distractions is the thing that stops you from doing anything.
Whatever understanding you have, what do you think you have a flow for?
I feel that I have a flow for one, talking, like I'm doing right now. I have a flow for playing chess. I have a flow for reading. I have a flow for playing sports that I love. For example, hockey, football, and cricket. I love these sports. I love playing
Team
them.
games, all team games.
All team games. I love doing things like swimming. I love things when I have some roller coasters. These things, I'm just in the moment. I'm not thinking about anything else. I'm not thinking that what is my friend doing right now at home. I'm not thinking about that. I'm thinking about what am I doing in this moment. I'm enjoying it. I'm living it to the fullest.
Wow, wonderful. And what are other books other than Ikigai you would have read on the life?
I have read Who Will Cry When You Die by
Robin
Robin
Sharma.
Sharma. This is such a book which is by far my favorite life science book. It talks so much, so much, so much about daily things that I can really relate to. For example, they had mentioned about never regretting anything in life. I mean, usually the statement comes out of us, I regret this, I shouldn't have done this. But if you think about it one more time, you'll be like, according to what I knew at that time, I did whatever I thought was best. Now you might be, then another thought might come to your head that no, this was not the best I could have done. Well, how do you know that thinking about now? What about yourself at that time, the time which you regret what you had done before? What if you thought that you actually did the right thing? You're not sure about what you thought that time. Whatever your mind wants you to think, that's what you're thinking. So never feel regretful because you did what you could have done the best at that time.
Wow.
And in the present time, whatever you want to do your best at it so that you don't even get that small hint of being regretful when you can never be regretful because you did your best at everything.
Wonderful. Any other learning you remember from the same book? Do you remember why Robin Sharma kept the name of the book? What
Who Will Cry
the name
Has.
of? So can you talk about the name and or whatever you understand about the name?
There's a saying, when you were born, the world rejoiced while you cried. Live your life in such a way that when you die, the world cries while you rejoice.
Wow.
That's why the book's name is Who Will Cry When You Die?
And what kind of life it could be? What should you do so you are happy in Ikigai as well as people feel sad or they cry when you go. So what do you think? What's your perspective combining Ikigai with this Robin Sharma's book together? What kind of life a person should live like?
So, one major problem which I'd like to highlight is people, whenever you have any problem in life, people start worrying about it, which is really natural. If any problem you have, you start worrying about it. But the thing is, you should never really worry about anything because let's look at the options. If you have a problem, can you do something about it? If you can, then no need to worry because you can do something about it and do it. If you cannot do anything about it, then why are you worrying? Why are you even thinking about it? If you can't do anything, but don't do anything about it. Look ahead. Look at now what you can do now about something else in life. Try and focus on something else instead of worrying about that problem. In life, and ignoring that point now, acknowledging that point, if we can go ahead now in better lifestyle, the point of having a regular, normal eating pattern, proper eating pattern, proper sleeping pattern, and proper exercising pattern is more important than you might ever think. In Okinawa, in Ikigai, it is mentioned that in Okinawa, one of the villages there, the youngest person there is 94 years old in a 3,600 people village. The youngest person there is 94 years old. How did I do that? Well, it's because they exercise every day. Well, it's because they eat proper food. Every day they eat 206 types of different food. They eat less than 7 grams of salt. They have such a proper dietary eating, and they every day sleep 9 hours, no compromisation. And they never take stress about anything because stress is just worrying. And as I mentioned before, you don't need to worry about anything.
Wonderful. And so how's your day goes in from? And I know summer vacations are going on for you. So how's your day from the morning to night? What all activities you do?
Currently, my summer holidays are going on, yes, and my school is reopening. I'm really excited meeting my friends after so long. But my day these days starts at 9 o'clock. My alarm rings. I do a brush, take shower. I get finished with all my hygienic routines by around 10 o'clock. Then I eat my breakfast till 10:30. Then I try and study. I study for around 2 hours. I study so that I don't lose the practice of studying daily for 2 hours. Because then when school comes, I won't find it normal to study. So to make sure the practice is still there, I still study for only 2 hours. After that, till around 1:30, and then I have my lunch till 2, and then I go play with my friend. We play some board games, we play some physical games, we play some sports, and occasionally we do play some video games. I do this till around 5:30. At 5:30, I go ahead and I usually have a class, a chess class at around 5:30. I do that for 1 hour till 6:30, and then I do some daily exercise. Like I have a daily exercise routine. I go to the gym and I stay there for 1.5 hours till around 7 o'clock. Then if I want, then I'll go take a stroll in the park, come back in 1 hour. Whatever I want, I'll do in that 1 hour. That 1 hour is nothing's fixed in that 1 hour. I can watch TV, I can take a stroll in the park, I can come back. And after that, at 8 o'clock, it's family time. We talk, we have chit chat, our full day is over. We eat our lunch, we watch some TV together, we play some board games, we have a book reading session occasionally. And
As a
yes.
family.
Yes, and sometimes I have those 15-15 minute pockets during my day. Um, and in those 15-minute pockets, I like to read. That's like my top thing to do in these 15-minute pockets. I like to read. And sometimes, let's say, my friend's not available, he's gone out. Then I invest that full time, 2 hours, in reading. And reading or learning a new hobby or singing or dancing or just having fun.
So let's talk about your family now. So tell me one most powerful thing you think today, as of today, you learned from your mom.
Well, to be honest, I have learned so many things from my mom. I give her deep regards to whatever I am today, and my dad too, of course. Um, However, if I have to give a top learning from my mom, then I'd have to say that she has taught me every single time, wherever you are, whoever you are, if you have to say anything and you're nervous, not only nervous, if you don't know what to do, you're just confused in anything. My mom always tells me to close my eyes and create something like a power circle. This is such a circle wherein whatever people throw at you, whether it's questions, whether it's insults, whether it's praises, when you create the power circle, no one is there except you and what you're doing or who you're talking to. So before I do anything, big or small in my life, I always make a power circle. Beat it reading a book, beat it playing literally Scrabble or word cross with my friend. Before everything, I try and create a power circle because my dad has told me a very nice saying, and that is actually one of the best things my dad has taught me. Try your best and leave the rest. Whatever happens, I will try my best, and that is my family rules. I will always try my best in whatever I do, so that I have that feeling inside me that whatever happens now, I have tried my best in whatever I've done. Be it the smallest of things, be it being so big as talking to 1,000 audiences. I will try my best in everything.
So tell me one funny thing about your mom and one funny thing
Oh,
about your mom.
okay.
which can be shared on interview. I know a lot of things are very personal in nature, but anything which you find it interesting.
My mom, she hates mushrooms. And me and my dad, we love mushrooms. So there's always this argument. I haven't eaten mushrooms in the past like 1 month, and I always want to eat them. Me and my dad always want to eat them. But my mom, she never wants to eat them. I don't know why. She never likes mushrooms. So she never wants to eat them. And we always have this common argument. I want to eat mushrooms, so I don't want to. And it gets so hectic sometimes. And sometimes mom just changes the conversation and she secretly tells our cook, no, you make these lentils, you make this rice. Don't make this, don't make this. So she secretly conveys the message, and we just think we're just into that other topic that she triggered while she quickly went and told the cook to change the meal.
Wonderful. And one thing about your dad.
My dad occasionally tries to learn Arabic from me, and it is just hilarious the way he pronounces the words. It is just hilarious. He adds a little bit of the Indian touch to them, and it sounds so, I don't know, it sounds so weird listening to them. He tries to pronounce the words, he tries to do all of that, but it never really makes out. And till this date, there was this one time when we made this full recording of him secretly while I was teaching him this Arabic words, and we laugh on it till date. All the words he tried to pronounce, and we laugh out of our lungs every time we watch that video.
I have a couple of funny questions, like rapid fire. What do you love more, pizza or ice cream?
Pizza fits limo.
If you were invisible for a day, what's the first thing would you do?
I would actually like to sneak into some, some high level tournaments and act as if and surprise people by, playing moves on the chessboard when no one is actually there.
Okay.
That would be like just hilarious watching the reaction to that.
Wonderful. And let's say you reach school and what is the worst? You forgot the homework or you forgot the lunchbox?
The main thing is homework, because you don't do homework, the teachers are going to get really, really mad.
You have a pet at home?
No.
If you given a chance, which animal would you like to have as a friend?
As a pet, I would like to have a dog, or I would have a goldfish.
And if you could swap a place with one of your teacher for one day, let's not say which teacher, let's say which subject teacher would you like to swap yourself for?
I'd like to go with my hockey teacher, or I would like to go with my science teacher.
What is the funniest nickname someone has given you?
Avi Puri.
Okay. Wonderful. If you had a chance to plan your silliest, funniest holiday, what would you plan?
I actually had the chance to do that once for one day. I had gone to a water park. We had, with the windows down, we had gone to a car wash. So I'd like to do some crazy stuff like that. I want to experience what it actually feels like.
If you get one superpower, what would that superpower be?
If I got one superpower, I would likely have mind control.
Wow. If you get a chance to live a life of one of the cartoons, which cartoon do you want to become?
Does Harry Potter count?
Yeah, we can say it's not a cartoon, but yes.
Yes,
it's a fictional character.
Because
yes.
I really love the way that the magic works, and all. Really want to, try that out.
What is the silliest thing you have done? I know you're not grown up, you're still young, but what is the silliest thing you believe you have done as a little kid?
So I was really young. I was around 6, 7, and I recently learned something known as ding dong ditching. I didn't even know what it means. A few of my friends, they were around 11, 12, and I didn't even know what they were trying to do. I was just standing there, and I was 6. I didn't understand what's happening. They rang the doorbell and they ran. Okay, and I was just standing there. Where are you going? Why are you running? The door opened. I said, I don't know. My friends ran.
Okay, wonderful. That's the silliest thing. Okay, so let's talk about little gratitudes of life. The top 3 things you would like to give gratitude to.
I would like to give gratitude to God. He has let me wake up every day to a brand new day, and I'd like to thank him, because if I didn't make it tonight, it would be Because if I made it the night, it would be because of him. He is the one who has guided me through everything, and he is the one who has given me a reason to get up in the morning. That's what I'd like to be thankful to God for. I'd like to be thankful again to Wings publication. They have helped me done my first biggest achievement of my life, which was writing a book. I lastly would be thankful to my parents for raising me up, and doing so many. They have taught me so many lessons. They have literally they have literally made me who I am, because without them, I wouldn't be talking to you today. Without, if I had anyone else, God knows what would be happening today. And thanks to them, I am talking to you today. Thanks to them, everything is happening. Thanks to them, my world, the way I know it, is actually functioning. And that's why I'd like to thank. And I'd like to thank many more people. But if I had to, give a list about the people who I can thank and who I have to thank, I bet we could make another video about it. So these are like the top three, but I'd like to thank much more.
What is the sweetest thing you remember with your grandparents? It could be any side, Nana, Nani, Dada, Dadi. What is the sweetest thing you remember?
Mother's father, my nanu. He's currently not there around. He had, we had Diwali, okay, and we had to do the fireworks, and I had this firework gun and all. So I had sat on a firework, and we were supposed to run far. And when I ran far, I actually fell down on the road, and one of the rocks, they scraped my right knee. My grandfather, he picked me up. He was around 60. He still managed a way to, he was actually 70. He managed a way to pick me up into the room. He fixed me 100%. He confronted me. He changed the topic. He spent 3 hours talking to me and changing my mood, because I was crying, 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 crying. I was really small. I was 6, 7. And I was crying, 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 crying. And he just comforted me for 3 hours. He spent 3 hours on confronting me. It was so sweet of him. He could have done so many things. He could have brought my mom to work. No, he didn't even tell my mom. He let her enjoy the Diwali. While he sacrificed that Diwali time, and he wanted to fix, because he cared about me so much.
Wow.
It was very sweet of him.
That's the sweetest memory you have. Wonderful. Live with this memory for as long as you can. That's how the love grows. I want to know any plans for the future. What do you want to become? Anything you have thought?
Oh, don't ask that.
I know a lot of people ask this question, but anything you have thought, or maybe the way of life. It may not be what you want to become, but how you want to become, and maybe personality more than a career. So anything. What do you think about the future?
To be honest, if we're talking about career, I really have no idea. I'm still kind of figuring out, and that's why I am reading Ikigai, to figure something out, because in year 9 I have to choose subjects, like I mentioned before. If I have to say personality, I'd want to be someone who is just got respect by the people. I don't mind how many people it is, whether it's a million, a billion, or even 1,000. I want at least few people to respect me with everything they've got. And if I get that respect, I'll be very happy. That's the personality I want. I want to be a person who has such a life that is stress free, who has a proper family. In the future, I want to have a proper family. I want to, live in a proper house. I want to, stay settled. If I come, many people have the dream of being actors, things that get them like real, real, real fame and real money. That's not really my dream. I don't really have anything in mind. And whatever I'm going to choose, that's not going to be because I want fame or because I want that money. It's because I love to do that. And it's because I know that I can get respect from doing what I love to do.
In the flow state.
In the flow state.
Wonderful, wonderful. So it was wonderful talking to you. We spoke a lot. We can continue talking for a couple of more hours. But I really enjoyed the discussion. You have very deep thinking.
Thank you.
And I think it's because of your parents. They are being nurturing you very well. They expose you to powerful things, powerful teachers, powerful mentors. and they not only teach you, but they do first become the example, and then you do automatically. So lot of gratitude to your parents too, for raising you very well, and thank you very much.
Thank you,
A
sir.
lot of wonderful discussion with you.
Thank you, Doctor.